Welcome. We just had our first X-flare of solar cycle 25. It occurred on the 3rd of July 2021 at 14:29 UT. This was an X1.6 event, and it was from the region on the northwest limb that's been rapidly developing over the last day or so. The last X-flare we saw was on the 19th of September 2017. That's just over 4 years, and was during the decay phase of solar cycle 24. This limb region has also produced 3 C flares and an M flare today. The sunspot number has soared to over 60. You can almost guarantee that when you have a rapidly emerging region, then there will be flares. And the quicker it emerges, the larger the flares will be. You can see how rapidly this region has been developing by comparing the status of the region on the 2nd of July, where there was just a few faint sunspots near the northwest limb, and today when we have apparently several large sunspots just about to go over the limb. This is a distinct harbinger of major events to come. Unfortunately, we have no HELIOVIEWER data available at present. Not quite sure what's wrong with their feed, but we haven't had any since the 25th of June. They should fix that soon. We did manage to get a couple of snapshots off the web. Here is on the left is a picture of the flare in the 94 angstrom channel. That's a high temperature channel, about 6 million degrees Kelvin. And there's another one from the somewhat lower temperature, 335 angstrom channel. That's about 3 or 4 million degrees. The X pattern in the images here is an artifact of the fact that the detector is saturated and producing these weird effects. That is not a feature of the flare. The vertical bar is also a saturation feature. Large events like this often produce radiation storms, and this one is no exception. It's produced an R3, which is a strong level radiation form. It's affected the 5 megahertz radio waveband. At the moment, it's affecting Western Europe, Western Africa, and North and South America. I must admit I'm somewhat surprised that we've not had a major proton event from this flare, because it was a large event and very impulsive. Those normally produce proton flares, and we haven't seen any. Unfortunately, this region produced another M flare while I was recording this video, so I've had to update some of my numbers here. You can see that we've had 3 C flares from this region, an M flare, an X flare, and while we were recording, we got another M flare. So we've had 3 C flares, 2 M flares, and an X flare in less than 24 hours, which is quite an impressive record. So what conclusions can we draw from all of this? Well, this is the first X flare of solar cycle 25. It's the 8th M flare of solar cycle 25, and indicates that solar cycle 25 is warming up. We can expect to get more flares over the coming weeks. In fact, this region should be back in a couple of weeks' time. It'll be interesting to see how much it's developed on the far side of the sun, and whether it will produce any more flares when it comes over the eastern limb. So until next time, stay safe and goodbye.